guys, welcome to a late night podcast with your boy Barry Vibes. Alright, I wanted to share a little passage, a little section of the Untethered Soul with you guys. I feel like a lot of people can relate to this, so here we go. It says, most people try to fix their inner problems by getting better at the same internal games they have always played, which is so accurate, it's so true with Fate for Save Myself, necessarily. I think that if I get better at the thing that I feel like is my... I don't really know the aspect of what the whole thing I'm trying to say, necessarily. But I think I do get exactly what it says, internal games. It's like this self-sabotaging or whatnot in your life. Hey guys, is this thing on? Anyway, hey guys, welcome to a late night vibing session with your boy Barry Vibes. Hope you guys are nice and tucked in for the night. But what I wanted to come to you guys today, well, is this thing on? Hey, nice to meet you. Alright, hope you guys are having a swell night. It is currently it's currently 10:51. Hope you guys are tucked in, snuggled, probably binge watching a show or something like that. I currently have the show Rookie paused. It's a little cop show. It's pretty interesting. So, I do recommend it. But I just wanted to share with you guys a little passage from the Untethered Soul. I told you guys I was gonna share a little something with you guys. I don't know. Depends. I don't know. I feel like people can relate to this. But here we go. Most people try to fix their inner problems by getting better at the same internal games they have always played. Now, I don't know. See, I know my understanding of what that just said just now, but I want to know, what is your understanding of that just simple sentence? Let me know. It also says, if we take a snapshot of our inner problems, we'll see that each person has what we'll call the problem of the day. Because not every problem, you always get a problem, right? And then the next day there's a new problem on top of the problem that you already are trying to figure out. That's my thought process of that, to be honest. It says, this is the thing that is bothering them the most at any given moment. And then this also says, when the current problem isn't bothering them, then the next one pops up. As I said, when the current problem that you have one day stops bothering you the next, another problem pops in and takes their place. And then it says, when that one isn't bothering them, the next one pops up. That is what your thoughts are about. Your thoughts tend to focus on what's bothering you today. The thoughts are about the problem. Thoughts are about the problem, why it is bothering you, and what can you do about it. If you don't do something about this, it will go on for the rest of your life, as it says here. What you'll see is that your mind is always telling you that you have to change something outside in order to solve your inner problems. But if you are wise, you won't play this game. You'll realize that the advice your mind is giving you is psychologically damaging your advice. Mind's thoughts are disturbed by its fears. Of all the advice in the world that you do not want to listen to, it is the advice of the disturbed mind. You are actually misled. You suppose it tells you, if I could just get that problem, I'm over here studying stuff, but it says, if I could just get that promotion, then I'll be fine. I'll feel good about myself, and I could get my life back together. Have you found that to be true? After you get that promotion, does that end all your insecurities and leave you financially satisfied for the rest of your life? My answer to that question is no. It actually gives you more problems, necessarily. Well, because you get that promotion. Getting that promotion won't make you feel fine. There's other aspects in other issues in your life that you have to deal with before you can actually feel fine. Getting that promotion, yes, it will. That's a good positive intake into your life. But now say you're in that promotion, you're in that new field of work, that new position, then what comes with that new position? Who knows? It could be positive and negative to your life. And we don't know unless we get the promotion. Your colleagues or whatnot, your co-workers in those types of positions could be horrible. Could be causing you mental stress, all that stuff. The responsibilities that packs on you once you get into that position could be overwhelming and just intensify the already negative aura feelings that you have in your mind. Where did I leave? What it says. Of course, all that happens is the next problem comes to the surface. See? All that happens is the next problem comes to the surface. You get that promotion. Oh, now you gotta worry about keeping that promotion. The responsibilities you have to do to keep that promotion. All the extra workload that comes with it. Because say like you go from just a regular associate to team manager, you have to regulate people, regulate the team to make the department stand out good. Once you see this, you realize the mind has a serious underlying problem. And what it's doing is making up external situations that might make things more comfortable, but external situations are not the cause of your inner problem. That is so true. So spot on, pretty much. Here, I'm gonna read a couple more sentences and I'll cut it off. But they are merely an attempt to solve the problem. For example, if you feel loneliness and inefficiency within your heart, it's not because you haven't found a special relationship. That did not cause the problem. That relationship is your attempt to solve the problem. All you're doing is trying to see if a relationship will appease your inner disturbance. If it doesn't, you'll try something else. The fact is, however, external changes are not going to solve your problem because they don't address the root of your problem. What's on the outside, what you do on the outside, doesn't necessarily mean it can affect the inside. It means like the problems on your outside, the things that you try to do on your outside to solve your inner problems doesn't necessarily work all the time. The root problem is that you don't feel whole and complete with yourself. If you don't identify the root properly, you will seek someone or something to cover it up. And that is what people, when they are codependent, not just people, but on things like somebody else cannot help you fix your inner problems. If you are like, they can help guide you and steer you in the right direction, but as far as truly solving the problem, that is up to you. That is up to you and your dedication and your drive to make your mind feel better, make yourself feel better, make your heart feel more joy. And then you will hide behind finances, people, fame, and adoration. If you try to find the perfect person to love and adore you, and you manage to succeed, then you will have actually failed. You did not solve your problem. All you did was involve that person in your problem. That is why people have so much trouble with relationships. You begin with a problem inside yourself and you try to solve it by getting involved with somebody else. That relationship will have problems because your problems are what caused the relationship. It is all so easy to see once you step back and dare to look at it honestly. Now that we've seen what failure looks like, let's define success. Success regarding your psyche is comparable to health regarding your physical body. Success means you never have to think about your psyche again. A natural, healthy body is one that just does what it's supposed to do. While you're going about your business, you never have to think about it. Likewise, you should never have to figure out how to be okay, or how to not be scared, or how to feel loved. You should not have to devote your life to yourself. psyche. And imagine what fun life would be if you didn't have those neurotic personal thoughts going on within you. You could enjoy things and you could actually get to know people instead of needing them. You can actually get to know them instead of needing them. Instead of feeding off energy of somebody else to temporarily slow down the negative energy that you're dealing with. I could be wrong. I'm just speaking just from my thought of this whole entire passions and everything like that. Other people can feel differently, of course. Where did I leave off? You could just live and experience your life instead of trying to use life to fix what's wrong inside you. You are capable of achieving that state. It's never too late, guys. Your current relationship with your psyche is like an addiction. It is consistently making demands on you, and you have to devote your life to serving these demands. If you want to be free, you have to learn to treat it like another addiction. For example, drug addicts are capable of stopping their drug use, going through withdrawals, and never doing drugs again. Maybe it isn't easy, but they are capable. The same thing is true of addiction to your psyche. You are capable of ceasing the absurdity of listening to your personal problems of your psyche. I may have got that word so wrong. We'll get to that. We'll get to the bottom of that. I just have to look up some Google Dictionary or how to pronounce it, to be honest. You can put an end to it. You can wake up in the morning, look forward to the day, and not. You can put it into it. You can wake up in the morning, look forward to the day, and not to it. You can wake up in the morning, look forward to the day, and not worry about what will happen. Your life can be like a vacation. Work can be fun. Family can be fun. And just enjoy all of it. I'm gonna stop right there. I just been rambling and reading. But that's just some passages in Untethered Soul. If you really, I know I was having trouble pronouncing a lot of words and all that stuff, but if you really get the premise of what it's trying to say, what it's trying to push out there, and you relate to it and you like it, make sure to get the book from Barnes & Noble or off Amazon. I'll put the link in the description. But that's the Untethered Soul. And it is really the journey beyond yourself, honestly. I do recommend this. I do rate it 8.5. Actually, yeah, 8.5, because this is my second self-help book, if I'm not mistaken. I really have to go back in my archives. That's what I'm gonna need to start reading myself to sleep. Well, not to sleep, but reading a chapter before I go to sleep every night. I feel like that will be very therapeutic. And I do recommend that for everybody to get back into reading, not necessarily internet, and you can read it online and stuff like that. But I do feel like having hard copy books just feels a little bit more authentic as far as reading. But let's say the power's out, you can't go on your ebooks and everything like that and read from there. Get a hard copy. I said it here. Also, so told you that book, read a little things about that. I do have some show suggestions for you guys. 1 second. So, I started this new show. It's only 3 seasons, sadly. It's called Dead to Me. It's on Netflix. Basically, what Dead to Me is about. 1 second. So it says, Dead to Me is a dark comedy drama series on Netflix that involves around an unlikely friendship between 2 women, Jen Harding and Judy Hill, whose lives become intertwined after a tragic accident. Here's a brief overview of the plot. Pretty much, Jen Harding is a widow whose husband died from a car accident, or not a car accident, a hit and run. And Judy Hill, you find out quick that Judy Hill was behind the wheel of the car, and that's all I'm gonna say about that. Obviously, there's so much plot twists and turns and tunnels and shits in this show that I want you guys to figure out, or not figure out, but figure out yourself. Dead to Me is a good show. Also, I want you to watch a show called Outlast. Now, you guys already know the different shows, Naked and Afraid, and all the other wilderness survival shows and stuff like that. This one is a pretty good one. It's fairly new. Came out last year. It's teams. Like, this show has to do with survival teams. They compete all collectively for a portion of the grand prize of $1 million. Okay? It says team dynamics and alliances, psychological and physical challenges. They have to, of course, scavenge for food, hunt, rafts, and make forts better and all that stuff. Just try survive in extreme conditions. Alaska's wild environment takes place in Alaska, by the way. Some people the morals in the teams are not necessarily what you really think. Some people go into different teams, camps, and steal supplies and everything like that to try to force that team to extract themselves, which is pretty ass. But and from himself, yeah. I think that's it. I think that's all I got for you guys. I don't know. But I do for my anime fans. A lot of hate and love relationship. There's like a whole love and hate relationship with Soul Leveling. You should definitely watch it though. The finale is 29th, so definitely look into it. It's definitely part of like 5. I know. Up to you to rate it though. Let's say I like a lot of fight scenes, and this show has a lot of fight scenes, and the soundtrack is great. The only thing I don't like is the cliffhangers. But thank you for tuning in. Hope you guys have a good night. Also, on a random note, the world is going to shit. Barry out.